Marvel Studios has been adding new concepts to the MCU for the better part of the last 5 years, consistently adding new things that could give us different insight into what direction they might be going in. From the idea of the multiverse to the sacred timeline, and of course the idea of dreamwalking, which we recently saw in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now the writer of that film addresses this idea being further explored in Loki. In my opinion, I think the concept of dreamwalking is really interesting and intriguing, and I do hope that they explore it further. Because the idea that when you're doing the dreamwalk, you are officially inhabiting another version of yourself in the multiverse and it's played up like a dream is pretty intriguing. And I think there could be a lot here that has to do with the ramifications of everything. Now recently, speaking with multiple outlets, one specific one I'm going to highlight here is from Coming Soon, Michael Waldron, the man who wrote Doctor Strange 2, talked about this idea getting explored further in the MCU. And he says he believes that it will be something that they go back to and that there is interesting ways that they could bring this to other projects. Then Loki was brought up because obviously Loki is going to have to search for Sylvie. And it all depends on where exactly in the multiverse she is and how exactly he could get to her, and the concept of dreamwalking was brought up. And he says that it's one of these things where you have to look at it the same way that the MCU looks at other things, such as spells that are being cast, such as magic that comes with a cost and other things, and that this is something that's very important because you can't just do it for no reason. You have to make sure that it makes sense in terms of whatever you're presenting as the plot and whatever details you want to further expand upon. Now obviously, it's not a whole lot to go by, but if you think about what he's saying, it makes a lot of sense. You can't just have Loki go, okay, I'm gonna dreamwalk now, and for no reason he's dreamwalking. Like, okay, how? How do you know this? How did you come up with this concept? Did you know this is possible the entire time? Could you have used this forever ago? It comes into its own set of problems, so you have to be careful with it. And I'm definitely interested to see what they're going to do with it, because he did tease that we're going to get more insight into the multiverse, but again, he's not directly involved with everything going on with Loki Season 2, so he can't confirm or deny everything. But it does sound like that there's still plans to use the whole dreamwalking concept, and that those ideas could play out in Loki.